Thank you.
Oh, I've watched the second episode of American Gods.
I haven't watched any yet, so don't say anything. Other than whether or not it's good or bad.
Oh, it's really good. I was just going to mention a name of a character.
Don't do that.
I haven't read the books or anything, so the whole thing for me is a really big surprise. Like, I've been avoiding everything.
There were books?
I mean, it's not really a spoiler considering when you meet him at the start of, sort of like halfway through the episode, he says his name out loud, so it's not like a mystery who he is.
It is until that point.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a mystery until then.
Bazir loves ruining things.
We saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 last night.
Oh,
it made me happy.
We saw it in gold class on the weekend.
Yeah, so did we. Because I still had my gift voucher left from when I left my last work. So we're like, you know what? We didn't get to do what we wanted to do for our anniversary. Let's spend it on gold class.
Nice.
You didn't get to do what you wanted to do for your anniversary?
We really, really, really want to go see Book of Mormon. But tickets are like $200 each.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And that's for shitty ones. So
yeah, we missed out on going to see Aladdin when it was in Sydney.
Yeah, that's here now.
Boo.
Oh, I started a warlock. I started leveling my warlock. Guess what the name of his imp is?
Lita!
No.
Oh, okay.
Lita's one is Pip.
Sorry?
Yes, Pip.
No,
Lita's one is Pip. Oh, sorry.
It's Dagpep.
Dagpep? Yeah, go change that one.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Daglop from was it Azuna? The one you signed a contract for. The little imp.
Oh, yeah. Daglop.
Runs Daglop. Reminds me of him. I just can't wait to get a Voidwalker. That's pretty much it. I think it's like level 20, but
what kind did you make?
Undead Warlock.
Lita's gonna be so proud of you.
Well, it was the class I originally wanted, the race class that I originally wanted to play. Because I'm like, they get a skeletal horse as their racial mount, and they get a free mount because they're a warlock.
Woo.
And then everyone was just like, we play Alliance. I'm like, no. So I did the thing everyone does, make a Night Elf Hunter.
I made a Night Elf Druid, man. Back off.
There's too much stickers on this thing!
Done.
What?
I thought to get me another pair of AirPods today, because I keep forgetting to take them to work, so I need to just have a pair stashed at work. But they've come from JB Hi-Fi, which, you know, they just put sticky tape on everything, and it's hurting me.
In regards to the achievements, for Emerald Nightmare, we're just going to kind of go through them a little quickly, because it's been a while, and we've already talked about them. I just kind of want to get your comments on them because you've done most of them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we start?
Sure. I succeeded. All the tapes.
In getting the sticker?
Yeah. Well, they because it's in a little box, and you got to slide out the box, like the inside of the box from the case, and they just wrapped tape all around like the whole thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they used really good tape, so it didn't actually tear any of the casing or anything, which is a nice surprise.
Yeah. I have a hard time with stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to.
Serious to run away.
In a sec. I actually had to make a delivery yesterday. My boss just gives me this massive box, and he's like, "Just grab a Uber and go to this place, blah blah." And then,
dude, was there drugs in it? Did you check?
No. It was something that was accidentally sent to our office instead of customer's office.
Okay. Was it drugs? I'm totally joking.
No,
I'm tired, and I've opened my nail polish remover, so God only knows what's going to happen now.
It was worth a couple grand anyway.
It was drugs.
It was like
definitely drugs.
It was 8 iPads.
Oh wow!
Sweet Jeebus.
Yep.
Oh.
And yeah, I got there, I gave them to him, and he opened it up, he checked them all. He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks for the delivery." And he's like, "Oh, tell your boss we might be ordering a whole bunch more soon." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." And the best part was, the panel next to the next to the door, because they're in like a set of offices. The panel next to the door actually has the name of the company cut out of the panel, like
that's
going downwards. And when they have the light on, the light actually lights up the name of the company.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
Oh, that's the photo you sent. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yep. Okay. Ready?
No.
Yeah.
Into the teapot.
Ah, boo. Okay. Have a good show.
Thanks!
Bye. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of Reins of Azeroth. I'm your host, Cinder, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Spaz. How are you, Spaz?
I'm doing well this fortnight.
Yes, this fortnight. Sorry, guys, about last week. Do you know that real life can be a giant pain in the bum?
You say it's harder than Mythical Dan?
Haven't started yet.
Harder than Mythic Ellison?
Yes. Ellison only
Okay.
took a few nights to get.
Ah.
But how are you?
Fair
What
enough.
have you been up to? What's been happening?
Not much. I have had a very busy schedule. I have decided to completely cut off my Mondays and give myself some time.
Yeah.
Instead of training 2 nights a week, I'll be only training 1 in regards to my martial arts and stuff. But I'll still be doing stuff at home just to keep myself fit. And so I can play more WoW. And obviously, show notes done.
These are good priorities.
Yeah, it's easier for me to just do all the show notes in like 3 hours rather than like half an hour here, half an hour there through the week. I just completely lose my train of thought, and you know. So, what was the question?
I don't know. I'm taking my nail polish off at the same time, and you know.
How about yourself?
Funnily enough, as busy as I've been, I've had a really productive fortnight. In terms of mounts, I'm now up to 240, so I'm getting there. I finally went out and bought the Champion's Tread Blade, so the Alliance chopper from the chopper thing that they did. So I spent not on my gold. I spent a portion of my gold on that.
I've seen a lot of people buying those recently.
Yeah, I did it because ages ago. Like when I say ages ago, I mean probably a good 4 or 5 months ago. I cracked 1 million gold for the first time ever, which was a really big achievement for me. And
I barely even cracked 200k.
Yeah, but when I did it, I'm like, oh great, I've got all this gold and I can buy all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but then you'll have less than 1 million gold. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that.
That's what happened when I hit 100k.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same thing.
It took me a long time. I waited until I had the 100k. Well, actually, I waited until I had about 200k above 1 million, and spent obviously 100 on the chopper. So I got that, and oh my goodness, best moment ever! I got the Valajar Stormwing dragon mount from one of the Valajar caches.
So jealous.
Yeah, I feel really complete. Like, I feel like if I didn't do anything else in Legion, I got one of those lightning-y storm drakes that I'd wanted since we saw them on the PTR. So I'm like, yes. Yep, I am so stoked about that. Yep. And it was one of those. It was one of those moments where I got the cache and I looked at Thor and we both just started chanting, mount, 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 mount. And then I clicked it and I'm like, mount, yeah!
And the people in the apartment next door were just like, what the hell?
What are you guys into? They've got to be used to it. Seriously, the number of profanities that come out of my mouth when I do something wrong in a raid, oh my god. Totally inappropriate.
Speaking of mounts, just quickly, remember there's only, was it 4 more weeks as of this
something like
reset?
That, yeah.
4 more weeks so we can get our hands on our class mounts. Now that does mean you do have to be exalted with the armies of Legion 4.
No, you don't. They took it away. You don't have to be exalted anymore. You only need to finish the campaign. So as long as you've done that. So if you
then I don't need to.
No, don't panic. Don't panic. It's really good. So get in there and do the weekly quests that they've been giving you.
I thought they only removed it from the Pathfinder.
They ended up doing it from both. Yeah, it was it was on my list of things to talk about last week because I think it was shortly after our show with Fleecy that they did the change, and obviously we didn't have our show. So yeah, which is really great. So everyone who was freaking out about trying to get to Exalted, you don't have to freak out anymore. You only need your Revered to get your flying, and that's it.
I was only like 5. Actually, I was only like 10k away, so I'm like, I can do that in 5 weeks. That's easy.
Yeah, look, I was a bit the same way. I was just like, oh, am I going to get there in time? People in my guild must have just been farming it really, really hard and getting really lucky with their tokens and stuff because they got exalted really quickly. Though, to be fair, they are farming their bottoms off. So I was like, oh, I'm never going to catch up. And then, I got exalted with them ages ago. So I'm, pretty happy about that. So yeah, it'll happen naturally. You'll probably get it in the next 5 weeks anyway. Like it's one of those things where if you're doing the weekly things to progress through the campaign, you'll get there.
Does that mean they've made it a hell of a lot easier for everyone's alts to get their class mounts?
Yep.
But the only requirement is to getting through that campaign.
Yes. Now, having said that, I don't know if you have to do the Suramar campaign and then as well as the Broken Shore stuff.
As far as I'm aware, my monk has received the missive from Khadgar to go to the Broken Shores, and he is not gone through Suramar.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, while we are talking about that, so just so that other people who are probably way smarter than me, but in case it hasn't crossed your mind yet, this week, if you've been doing your artifact research every week, or basically on cooldown, you would have hit artifact knowledge 35 in the last couple of days. And when you hit artifact knowledge 35, the compendiums that you can buy with the resources to send to your alts goes from 25 to 30. So you can mail this to your alts, and their research can go to 30. However, do not give this to your alt, and do not let your alt learn it until they have done the Broken Shore opening stuff and have unlocked trait number 26. Because otherwise you will do what Cinder's alt did, she was on 25 already, and she clicked the thing to get up to 30, and it did nothing. And it used my thing, and it did nothing. Nothing. So don't do that. Go open up the Broken Shore quests and do the little quest line that you need to do.
Empowerment.
Yeah, to unlock the 26th trait, and then you can use your compendium to boost it all the way up to 30 straight off the bat.
Oh, that's probably the other thing. Get your artifact upgraded.
Yes.
Before you can.
Yes, you would need to
get
do
your class
that.
mount.
So
but that'll be easier with artifact knowledge anyway.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. So for the rest of my fortnight, this morning I got the Pilfered Sweeper toy from the Wormtongue Cache's cave, from those little chests in there, which is really cool because it's like if you've done the Trilliax fight, the little guys that run around cleaning up things, it's like a miniature one of those. And if you have a cat pet out, it will jump on top of it and look like a cat on a Roomba. It's really cute. So I got that, which I was really happy about. In terms of achievements, lots of achievements. We since the last show, we've gotten down Mythic Star Augur and Mythic Elisand, which is awesome. I did a heroic campaign, which is to complete 3 different class hall campaigns. So I've done the Shaman Mage and the Paladin one. The Paladin one was really cool. I really, really enjoyed that. Wrath of the Stitch King, which is PvP transmog set. I got that from my mage because it's a wicked looking set, and I was really happy with that. I got Cage Rematch, which is one of the achievements that we're going to talk about tonight. Take Command, which is doing the command center contribution 5 times. Terrors of the Shore, which is for killing all 5 of the Broken Shore rare boss doobie type ones. I finally got this side up, which was for the archaeology achievement, which I was really happy about, and I was also really happy that it's account wide. So as soon as you unlock the second row of your artifact appearances on all of your alts, that one will be available to you, which was really cool. I don't even know when it happened, but I got this It Belongs in a Museum, which is an archaeology one, which gives the title
all
professor. Now, yeah, I don't know when that happened. I really don't. I was going through all of my achievements, and I'm like, when did that ding? And I think it must have happened when I was doing this side up. They must have happened right at the same time because I was just excited about the artifact appearance.
Maybe. Well, if you go to Simple Armory, it'll tell you the date.
Yeah, the date's the same date. That's why I was like, I don't know. I got Exalted with Armies of Legion Fall. I got Ragnaros Watch and Learn, which is the elemental part of the Family Familiar achievement, which means I only have the mechanical one and the aquatic one left, and I'm done with that, which is great because I spent like 45 minutes this evening trying to defeat Sir Galveston in Dalaran with a freaking aquatic team, and oh my god, that hurt my heart in ways that, So yes, anyway. I got Fighting with Style upgraded for getting all appearances in the second row, and I got Paragon of the Broken Isles, which is for getting the 10 of the caches past the Exalted ones, which is good. So, like, heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been productive.
And checking Simple Armory says that I also have Terror of the Broken Shore.
Grats! Yeah, I think most people would have got it in the last week because the last guy finally came up when the command center was up, I think. Last one. I think it was Command Center. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the news. Do you want to?
We've got some big news. Actually, I think you should let everybody know about this. The first point.
Our first point is obviously, and I mean, if you're not following us on Twitter, please, because we're lovely, but also because, you know, we retweet some really useful things. So if you have been following us on Twitter, you will have seen our lovely resident artist, our little gremlin, Sirius. I shouldn't call her our gremlin. She's our art gremlin. She's not a gremlin in general. I'm clearly really tired. Our lovely artist, Sirius, has opened up her 2017 BlizzCon badge commissions, and she is super excited and happy to be doing it for this year, which we're also super excited and happy because on a really, really selfish note, I love seeing everybody else's badges when they get made, and I love seeing how excited they get. So now, she just did one for Ro.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you heard of Ro?
I have heard of Ro. He and I co-hosted a show once.
Yes. The latest, his new Twitter profile is done by our lovely artist.
Awesome. Very cool.
And apparently he was fangirling about the artwork, and she
really
was fangirling about getting contacted by him, so it was just like a
lots of fanning.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, it's very cool. We will have Sirius's contact details in our show notes as we do each episode. But if you are interested, please go visit her website and hit her up on Twitter and stuff and get a really cool badge.
Yes.
So in the last week, just gone, was the Spring Balloon Festival. Did you get to do any of this?
Sadly, no.
Oh, Spaz, you would have really loved it. You really loved it. I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to this next year because I wanted to do as many of them as I possibly could. And in the end, I only got to do 2. And basically what happens is that you will, out in the world, they would have on the map a red X marked where balloon flights would start. And you need 2 other people, so 3 in total. You don't have to be in a group. You just, when you get there, it'll wait for 2 other people to come along. And you all jump in and you get taken on a tour in the balloon around whatever zone that you're in. So the first one that I did was in the Valley of the Four Winds in Pandaria. And we were getting shown around by a Pandaren who was just like well and truly fed up with being a balloon guide. And he's
I thought you were going to say well and truly plastered.
No, he was lovely. He was just like, I didn't want to do this anyway. I wanted to be something else. And this is really awful, but I feel so much better now that I shared this secret with you all. You guys should share some secrets. Cinder, what's your biggest secret that you've not told anyone? I can't think off the top of my head. And then they're like, so-and-so, whoever was in there with me, what's one of your biggest secrets? And they do and say, I'm a keyboard turner. And the last guy, I can't remember what he said, but it was really, really fun. It was a really, really fun experience.
That's when you get the priest to use confession.
Yeah.
On them.
Yes, that's true. That would have been really handy.
Yeah. I did see all the pictures, like all the stuff that WoW had posted, and it looked lovely.
They had a different scenario for each zone, from what I understand. So I did that one, and I did High Mountain, and Nessingwary was in the High Mountain one, and he made you tell jokes. So I told a joke, but nobody laughed. And then after I told the joke, one of the other dudes jumped out of the balloon. So I think I made him suicide, which is a bit awkward because it wasn't a bad joke.
Fair enough.
But it was good, so it's lovely. Do you want to talk about the new legendary rings?
Yes. So on the PTR, they have discovered some legendary rings. The Soul of the Archdruid, the Soul of the Archmage, the Soul of the Death Lord, Soul of the Huntmaster, Soul of the Slayer, and Soul of the Shadowblade. Now, the items themselves don't have too much around them, but it seems like we will be getting something legendary eventually. I don't believe they've found or been able to confirm where they come from, so...
No, they haven't. A lot of our guildies are really keen to find out, because some of them are really good, apparently. But it's just interesting, when you've read them out, I'm like, hang on, that's all the titles that you get for doing your Class Hall campaign?
Yep.
So
obviously not all of them.
Well, no, there's more to come, obviously, because there's nothing in there for shamans or anything. So I'll be
the shaman title?
Farseer.
Ah.
So I'll be really curious to see, firstly, what I get as a shaman, but secondly, how you get them. It'd be cool if they were, like, we've been talking about it because for some people who haven't been as lucky with legendaries or haven't been able to put as much time into the game, when they release a new bunch of legendaries, it actually makes it more difficult for people to target the ones that they're specifically after. So for me, I've been trying to get a pair of gloves and still hadn't got them. And then when 7.2 came out, they brought out new legendaries, which made the pool bigger of choices again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people are a bit concerned about this adding to that pool again for people who haven't been as lucky. So it'd be awesome if it was a quest of some sort, and it doesn't matter if it's grindy. Yeah, but also, is it going to be? Are we going to be allowed to equip 3 legendaries, or is it only going to be 2? And yeah, I don't know. Be really curious to see what happens.
They may not count towards that number.
Well, it would be nice if they didn't, especially given that it looks like it's something specific to your class in that way. So,
yeah, we may end up actually getting a blue item that then we turn purple and then we turn legendary.
Yeah, like Pandaria.
Yeah, like in Pandaria, and we really don't know what the system is, but yeah, we'll see. They look pretty cool. Obviously, don't have too much information, so. But what I can confirm is there are more heirlooms on the way.
Yay!
There are heirlooms that will teach you flight points.
This is awesome. It's awesome.
Now, these will be... they're like travel guides to the Eastern Kingdoms, to Kalimdor for both Horde and Alliance. I don't think they will have them for Outlands, Daria, and Northrend, but maybe eventually, because they're a lot smaller continents, so you don't necessarily need them once you can fly in there anyway, so we'll see. And there is the ability to upgrade your weapons and armor heirlooms to 110.
Yay! And again, this is obviously coming in 7.2.5, so not here yet, but yeah, that'll be really cool.
Now, it was the World of Warcraft Twitter account posted a very handy. Was it a video or was it a GIF?
It was a GIF on the tweet. Thank you to Spanky for forwarding us the tweet. So yeah, I think it was a GIF in that linked to the WoW website.
Yes, and it went through all the rewards for the PvP prestiges. Now, a lot of people were asking a lot of good questions in response to this, in regards to what happens after Legion. Is the prestige going to go away? A whole bunch of different things. But straight up, this was just a list. Prestige 1, the Alliance Enthusiast / Horde Fanatic. Prestige 2, Artifact Appearance. In that video, they showed off the Beast Mastery appearance, which I very much do not like.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one either.
Big old handgun with a tusk on the front. Prestige 3, Toy, the Honorable Pennant, which is a flag that sticks out your butt. Because, of course, it does. Prestige 4, you'll get your prestigious Bronze Corsair mount, which does it's the same, the not idle animation, the mount special it does is also the mount special that the Warforged Nightmare does, where it kicks up on its back legs and turns around. It looks really cool. Prestige 5 will get you a title, the Honorable. Prestige 6 is a new artifact color for that PvP artifact appearance. Prestige 7 is the Dutiful Squire and the Dutiful Gruntling, Horde and Alliance. Prestige 8 is the Prestigious Pennant, which is a new version of that flag. And no, both of those are toys, not just items, they're toys. Prestige 9 is the Prestigious Ivory Corsair, which looks really nice. Prestige 10 is the title, the prestigious. 11 is another new color. I believe that's the third color. Prestige 12 is an elite pennant. Prestige 13 is the Azure Corsair. Prestige 14 is a title, the Unrelenting. And then Prestige 15, which is available once Season 4 starts, is the fourth color of the PvP appearance. Sorry, lost for words. Prestige 16 is the Esteemed Pennant. And then Prestige 17 is the Prestigious Forest Corsair. So that's all the different colors of that mount. And then Prestige 18 is the Unstoppable Force, which is a title.
Oh, I want that
really cool.
title so bad.
It would be cool.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I'm happy with Huntmaster as a hunter. But I'm happy using Vendor of Darnassus.
Yeah,
anyway.
Oh, that's nice. I've been getting so we on Saturdays we do a heroic clears now of Nighthold because we don't do it during progression week anymore, and I've been DPSing for those, and so I'm just spamming chain lightning because that's what LE shamans do, and so I've been given the nickname Darth Cindy because I'm just out there with all of my
that's
lightning.
Please don't remind me I have to keep doing puggy normal Nightholds.
Sorry.
I'm only at 7 of those night whatevers out of 20. So I need to keep pugging normals.
You'll get there.
I'm on the last step, minus killing Gul'dan.
Yeah.
On normal. Which is going to be the hardest thing, because I have to have over item level 920 to take down normal Gul'dan, according to most group finders.
You need what?
I saw one the other day that was normal Nighthold clear must have 920 item level.
I don't even have 920.
I don't know if it was actually like the requirement, but in the
That's ridiculous.
In the name, that's what it was. And I'm like, what? Whatever. Now, in the upcoming patch, we have heard that there'll be some new affixes introduced to Mythic Dungeons. According to our source, there are going to be 25 of them.
Seems like a lot.
I've picked out a couple. Obviously, they want to make it as varied as possible, because they don't want the same sort of things lining up and really hurting the players. Now, the first one is Mirrored, which is every cast is reflected. So don't bring any casters into the dungeon. Basically, Chaotic. Every mob in the instance is a random mob from another instance. That would be weird.
Yeah, no.
Going through Halls of Valor with a whole bunch of plant people showing up and.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah, it would. Mutiny is the next one. The dungeon is no difference, but you're in a 5-way PvP duel with your teammates, and the last one alive at the end is the only one who gets chest.
It's brutal. Healers would never make it.
Yes. Now, the next one is Insulting. Mobs will inspect your gear and achievements and mock you based on your shortcomings.
This one was evil. That's not... It's evil.
Now, this next one, I hope they never introduce into, like, Ice Crown, which is profound. All RP takes 30% longer, and all bosses speak 50% louder.
No.
Yes. Now, for those of you who enjoyed, Vestige, we have Aquatic. All instances are now underwater dungeons. So, good luck with that. The next one is Prepared.
I have a Fathom Dweller now. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, true. The next one is Prepared. All enemies are immune until your group has successfully performed a ready check, and your healer has full mana. I bet you love that.
I really do.
Yes. And now the final one is boring.
It's not. You missed my favorite one. You missed my favorite.
Which one?
The parent one, where it's all the bosses will sit there and judge you for your ineffective use of your spare time or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. I absolutely pissed myself laughing at work out loud.
So, if you want to get the full list, you need to check out Lagging Balls episode 101. And yes, I did ask permission to read a few of these off. I hope I genuinely did confuse a few people. Because to be honest, the first 3 actually sound pretty damn fun.
No, they don't. Every cast is reflected. No.
Well,
no.
that would be
like
funny.
on the Trash Before Botanist in Nighthold, there's these turtles around the edges, and you have to specifically target them, and so people are very good at pulling crap that they shouldn't. Anyway,
this is for mythic. This is for mythic dungeons.
Yes, no, I know, but these turtles, they have an ability on them that reflects all damage. It does exactly that ability, and people will just kill themselves trying to kill it. That's like, you just need to you just let the melee do it. They'll deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. Although, the chaotic would be great. Every mob is a random mob from another instance.
True.
I would just love the day when you walk up to, like, if that was a thing, and you walk into the room to take on Odin in the Halls of Valor, and the 4 kings that are standing in front of you, like, one of them is just the Lich King. It's just like, oh. Well, okay then.
I was imagining all of the ghosty diners in Karazhan hanging out in the hall, in the Halls of Valor,
yes.
and they'd just be fighting with the dudes up there. Be good fun.
Yeah.
Go listen to the full list on Lagging Balls. It is absolutely fantastic and hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And, yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah. So now on to our main topic for this evening. We're going to be covering the glory of the Legion Raider again. Because we covered it once. But we covered it once before, but now we're covering the entire thing of it. We're going to kind of speed through the Emerald Nightmare because most people who raid may have actually got most of these achievements either accidentally or have already gone back to do it on purpose. So we'll get through the Emerald Nightmare, and then we'll talk about Nighthold, and we'll also talk about the achievements from the Trial of Valor, which don't count towards the meta, though. And this whole achievement will grant you the Defiled Reins, which is the Nightmare Corrupted Moose, which looks pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Now,
I like it.
Now, the first achievement is Buggy Fight. Defeat Nathendra in the Emerald Nightmare after squishing 15 glow bugs. How was this one for you, Cinder?
It took a while, only because you don't get enough bugs each time. So it's in the Heart of the Swarm phase where she goes to sleep and then draws in all of the gunk off the ground and soaks it into her. When that happens, the little bugs will start spawning around the room. We just all spread ourselves around and yelled out when we found one and squished them. And tried to keep track of it that way. But you had to do like 4 or 5 rounds of Heart of the Swarm to do it, which just means that you're really honestly standing around, like especially if you're higher level with your gear, you're standing around doing nothing because you'll kill her before that many casts of Heart of the Swarm would go off. So it's really straightforward though. They look like little hams.
Well, and obviously you'll get the cogwheel to interact with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The next one is Webbing Crashes. Defeat Erethel Renferal in the Emerald Nightmare after destroying her pulsing egg sacs during the encounter on normal or higher. So, this one's a bit weird. You have to, like, throw yourself off the edge.
Yeah,
get some of them.
We didn't get this one. We failed it, and people couldn't be bothered trying again. This one is genuinely fiddly, and you need probably around about 10 people to do it. You need obviously a very bare minimum of 6. But, you actually need people to kill the boss as well as the eggs. So you can pre-mark the eggs. If you look around the whole area, you can see them they're red. They've got like this red pulsing kind of glow on them. You can pop some markers on them, and then when the fight starts, you need to go destroy them during the encounter. You can't do it before, because if you do it before, it will stuff it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, last time we did when we talked about this last time, it was episode 37, by the way, if anyone's curious about the dungeon side of things, which is what we talked about then too. But we did mention some videos from a guy named Carl, who's lovely, and he does a really good video guide for this one that will show you where they all are. And as Spaz said, some of them are off the edges. You need somebody like a demon hunter who has a good glide ability or something like that to get to them.
Now, the next one is Scare Bear. Defeat Ursoc in the Emerald Nightmare while keeping Tur Ragepaw alive. Now, he's an NPC that kind of just hangs out in the Grizzly Hills area, so you need to go find him and bring him into the raid. Did you guys do this one?
Yeah, this one's really easy. There's a trash pack. Like, as you're clearing the trash going into the room where Ursoc is, most of the time people will... So they'll go down and then walk up the hill, and then you kind of go left and down the hill again into the room. When you're going left to go down the hill, if you actually go straight ahead, that's where this dude is, and he's in a cage. So it just means clearing another pack of mobs, and then you can click him out of the cage and he'll follow you. And if you just set him on focus, you can just spot heal him to make sure that he stays alive throughout the fight. But if you've got strong DPS, the fight will be done really quickly and he's not likely to take too much damage. But if he does, you can heal him. Like, he becomes a part of your group, so he's healable. Just keep him alive during the fight and you win.
Yeah. So the next one is Took the Red Eye Down, which is to defeat Il'gynoth after inflicting 20 nightmare explosions on the Eye of Il'gynoth in 10 seconds. I've seen people try and do this one. It looks a bit finicky. But,
yeah, it is. It is. Because people can get a little bit impatient. It's, again, and like we say this every time when we go through raid and dungeon achievements, a lot of these are easier when you have higher level gear. The difficult part with this is that you need to hold on to the ads like underneath the eye, and what happens is when those when the blobs fixate on you, they give you a stacking debuff, and if you have to hold on to them for a really long time, then you'll take more damage. So you can run the risk of kiting it around if you want to, but people are a bit rubbish about doing that well. You want them all to be under the eye and slam them all down as fast as you can when there are at least 20 up. Try and get more than 20. But once they're up, just go ham on your AoE heals, AoE damage, and you'll be good.
Yep. The next one is Imagined Dragons World Tour. Is to defeat the Dragons of Nightmare, while all members of the raid have dream essences from all 4 gateway locations. Now, this is just run in and out of all the portals, isn't it?
Every portal has a buff that you can get in there, so every single person in the group needs to get this buff. This one does take a lot of coordination with your group. Again, it'll probably be a bit easier now with the higher gear. So you kind of want to... I can't even remember how we did it because we did this one a little while ago, but I think we split the group into 2. The first group, in the first round, half the group went and dealt with the dragons themselves. The other half of the group actually started the fight on their mounts and then ran through each of the portals. So you need to go through the portal, get the buff, run out, go to the next portal, get the buff, and so on and so forth until you've gotten all 4 buffs. When that happens, then you swap, and the group that was on the bosses need to go through the portals, and the other group, they stay on the bosses. Don't kill the bosses until everybody has all 4 buffs, and then you can kill the bosses. You do have to make sure that everyone's got them.
What exactly is the mechanic with the portals? Are they used in the...
They're used in the mythic. They're the mythic version of the fight, but they are still available to you in the lower difficulties as well. You don't need them, and you're not prompted to go through them, but you can. Like if you go into, they might be available in LFR. I'm not 100% sure. You can try it out. You just walk through.
Because I've had people be like, oh, I wonder, oh my god, where am I? How do I get back to the raid? I gone through the portal. Oh my god, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so what's the mechanic behind the mythic? With the portals?
In Mythic, at particular points during the fight, I can't remember the percentages, but I think it's something like 85, 60, and 35% health on the bosses. An ad will spawn in one of the portals, and it's always the same portal each time, so you follow the same pattern each time. So a group of you goes into that portal and kills the ad, and you have to go in there because the ad will cast an ability that if the ability goes off, it will instantly kill everyone. It's like an apocalypse type ability, and everyone dies. So that's why you go in there. It's a good fight. It was bad because at the time I was having the really slow loading screens, and so every time I had to go through the portal group, because I would heal the portal group, I'd have these insane loading screen times.
Ooh,
and by the time I got in there, they'd all be down there at really low health. I'm like, crap! And we got there.
Yeah, that sucks. So our next achievement is use the forces to defeat Cenarius without cleansing each of the following forces of Nightmare. Those being Drakes, Dryads, Treants, and Wisp. So, you guys have it?
Got this one accidentally. So, during the fight, you have to... there's... Like, imagine 4 corners of the room, and each corner has one of those different types of mobs. And the way that you cleanse that particular area is if, before he casts his cleansing ability, I kind of remember what it's called, but it's where, like, a green patch will spawn underneath that area, and it makes the ad that spawns there good instead of bad. You just need to not do one of those corners each week.
Okay. So...
Yeah, it's straightforward.
If you're mythically geared, can you just, like, do this in one go?
No, because you will always cleanse one corner.
Okay.
Because it happens right at the very start of the fight. So if you are mythic, like the way that we do it, he'll do the cleanse ability, and by the time all of the ads get to him, we're actually in the very last phase and almost done. So if you're in a similar situation, or even not, like even if you're getting 2 cleansing phases, it just means that the next week, just don't do those 2 corners, and you can easily get it done in 2 weeks.
Okay. Is the first cleanse random?
No, if everyone, people thought that it was at the start, but if you actually all, like the whole group, be in the same corner where the boss is with the tank. Yeah,
okay.
that made sense. Yep, so everyone's all grouped up together in the same corner.
That's fair.
That will make that corner be cleansed.
Yes. And the final achievement is I attack the darkness, defeat a creature in the dark during each of the phase of the encounter with Xavius. Now, a creature will spawn in the first phase from 100 to 65, the second phase 65 to 30, and then the final phase, which is 30 and under. Demon Hunters with Spectral Sight will find this guy and just glaive toss to get him in. That's pretty straightforward. Did you guys end up getting this one?
Yeah, that one, and exactly as Carl did it in his video, which we'll put the link up for as well. We used Demon Hunter. He pulled it out into the group, killed it. Second phase, same thing. Went and got it, killed it. Easy done. The only hard part was really holding off on DPS in the last phase to make sure that the ad died before the boss.
That's fair. Now, do you want to take the next couple of achieves?
Sure, so we're into the Nighthold, and this is stuff that we didn't get to talk about last time, so we'll explain this, properly, in detail. The first one is Cage Rematch, and this is for Scorpion, the first Scorpion boss. And it says, defeat Scorpion in the Nighthold on normal difficulty or higher without any player leaving the center rings. This one's it's really straightforward if you do the achievement. Of course you do the achievement. If you do the mechanics properly. Funnily enough, we got this on our mythic kill the other night, but we'd been trying to get it on our normal kills and our heroic kills that we do on farm nights, but there's always one person that gets knocked back. So technically, it's an easy one to do. So when you go into the room, it is a circle room, and you'll notice that the main circle bit in the middle has another ring on the inside as well. So you can actually start the fight inside that ring. So we made sure that everyone was in there before the boss was pulled. And then we pulled the boss, and everyone had to stay inside that ring before, to kill the boss. And you can't get knocked out, don't get stunned or anything, and you'll be fine. You also can't run out, because in that fight you need to hide behind crystals so that you don't get the knockback. You just need to be really careful about not running to hide behind a crystal that will take you outside of the circle.
Fair enough.
So that's one we got, which was really cool. The next one is called Grand Opening. This one says, activate all the spotlights around the night well and then defeat the chronomatic anomaly in the night hold on normal difficulty or higher. This one I had no idea about. We haven't done it, and this one will take some quite considerable planning to do. So in this fight, there is an ability called Time Bomb, and usually this goes out, depending on the size of your group, but it's usually about 2 people, sometimes 3 people. So the ability is called Time Bomb, and when the timer runs out on your debuff, you'll explode like a bomb, funnily enough. Who would have thought? What you need to do is, if you have the Time Bomb ability on you, you need to find one of the 12 blue circles that are around the night hold and be standing on that circle when the bomb goes off, and that's going to turn on the lights. So this means that all up you need 12 time bombs, at least. That's if you manage to do it flawlessly. You need 12 time bombs to light up all of the lights. Reading the comments on Wowhead, they indicated that the last lot of time bombs go out right as the boss is enraging. So you just need to make sure that you get those ones spot on and that the boss is really low. You'll get that one. Moriarty, are you saying that you got Grand Opening last week? Because that's really cool if you did. I'd like to try and get it, but I was just saying in chat that our guild's really not... There's some people who are keen, but most of the guild aren't really keen on achievements, which is a bit disappointing. Congratulations! Moriarty says yes. He did this achievement last week. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to take next ones?
So the next one is gluten-free, which is to defeat Trilliax while eating no more than 26 slices. Now, this one requires you to not
don't do
mechanics.
You're supposed to eat the cake.
Supposed to eat the cake. It seems. But if you do it on normal and you're very well geared, you can just ignore the cake, and you'll have the achievement.
Yep, we got this. I think we actually got this ability on our second kill. On Heroic, maybe even the first one, and we laughed because we got it because we'd failed. You are supposed to click the cakes because the little sweepers that come out, if they eat the cakes, then they eat it and then they explode and then everyone gets lots of damage, and it can kill people pretty quickly, especially if lots go off all at once. So it was just funny that we got a kill whilst completely failing the mechanics. But now you can just do it if you've got high DPS.
Yep. Now, the next one is a change in scenery, which is to engage and defeat Spellblade Aluriel in the following areas of the Nighthold. You must reach her destination within 120 seconds of entering combat and remain there until defeated. The Shalderai Terrace, the Shattered Walkway, Astromancer's Rise. This is kind of similar to Bucket List for Shanix, in which you had to run him to the different locations.
Yeah, except this one you've got to kill her 3 different times for it.
Yes. Technically you can get this done in 1 week with some weird tricks, but you don't need to. Now, obviously, the Shalderai Terrace is where Botanist is, the Shattered Walkway is the bridge leading to Croesus, and the Astromancer's Rise is the room underneath Staolga. So, yeah, it seems like a weird one to do.
Yeah, I imagine that you'd want to have somebody with incredibly high movement speed being the person to tag the boss and run, and you could essentially have everyone else on mounts. Because I think
I'm surprised she doesn't reset.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, she doesn't. So there's very specific places that you can run her to make her reset. But yeah, most of the time, nah, she won't.
Fair enough. Now, the next one is Elementally, which is to defeat Star Augur after having defeated a well-traveled Nether Elemental. Now, the elemental you need is a Nether Elemental. Be found in the giant courtyard with the big fountain as you come up the stairs after the sewers. To the left of the big stairs, it can't be targeted. Okay.
Not straight away, because it's got the 2 ads that have bound it. So you need to kill the 2
so
ads.
it's got 2 ads that have bound it. Now, before you pull this ad, clear all the trash in between the ad and Star Augur. So you go a straight path, no issues. When you're ready, target the 2 ads, and then the elemental. Kill the elemental.
Don't kill the elemental.
Do not.
Do not.
Yes. So kill the 2 ads that have it chained in place, and then don't kill it. Now you have to kite it into the room where Star Augur is and begin the fight. You can either 3 tank it, or have 1 tank just holding the elemental away. Or you can just kind of like root it in place if you've got enough rolling stuns and roots. Now, as the fight progresses, the name of the elemental will change, and it will get more health. In the last phase, the elemental will have the right name, which is Well-Traveled Nether Elemental, and then you can kill it, and then the boss. So, you have to defeat the elemental before the boss when it has the right name. Yep. So don't kill the boss first.
No. And apparently, according to the comments on Wowhead, the health of the elemental gets really, really high. So you can probably start hitting it down a little bit, just very casually. You'd have to be very careful, no dots or anything like that. But yeah. Sorry, my phone alarm going off. But yeah, just be mindful of that.
Okay, you want to take the next ones?
The next one is Fruit of All Evil. Defeat High Botanist Talan in the Nighthold while all members of the raid are afflicted with arcane exposure on normal difficulty or higher. Now, if you've been into the botanist area, again, I'm not 100% sure if these fruits are there on LFR, but they're there on normal and above. There's little fruits that you can find around the terrace where botanist is. You need to clear all the flippin' trash everywhere to make sure that every single person in your raid can get one of these fruits. So, you might be there for 3 hours because there's so much darn trash. Oh my god. So once all the trash is killed, everybody in your raid team needs to click on one of these fruits, and then you need to kill the boss while everybody has the buff from the fruits. If someone has died, they will lose their buff, and the achievement will not be successful because everybody in the raid has to have it. So if somebody dies, you need to wipe it, or you need to res them and let them go get a fruit before the fight is done. But yeah, just be mindful of that. So the fruits that you get, they do different things, and all of them are going to annoy the crap out of you and make what is a very messy, insane fight so much more insane. One of them will stop and make you throw up every now and again, because that's what you want to be doing mid-fight. Another one will just pick you up and throw you back really far, just for no apparent reason. And the last one will make you see hallucinations that you need to kill them so that they go away, and they've got like 1 health point each. Now, the comments in this say that this puts the whole group into combat, and for me, that explains an awful lot, because there have been so many times we've gone into that room, and all of a sudden, like, we'll all be in combat, we've got no idea why, and then the combat will drop, and then all of a sudden we're back in combat again, and we're like, there's nothing here, we're not doing anything, and some little bugger has eaten a fruit and not confessed, and it's their fault. So good luck with that one. Yes. That's not one that I'm not looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Now, be careful about getting thrown backwards, because you may get thrown off the edge.
There you go. Thanks, Moriarty, for that tip. Blimey. The next fight is called Not For You, which is to defeat Hypochondrius in the Nighthold without taking any damage from Echoes of the Void on normal difficulty or higher. This is one where you just need to actually do the mechanics properly. So during the fight, he does an ability called Echoes of the Void, and during that he will spawn these big like pillory doobie things out of the ground. There's 4, 1 for each corner. Stand behind that for the entire duration of Echoes of the Void. Then you will not get hit by anything, and you will get the achievement. It's an easy one. The next one, Burning Bridges, looks really cool, and I really want to try it, but, again, I don't know. So, for this one, defeat Croesus in the Nighthold after quenching 15 burning embers. So, for those of you who have done Croesus, you will know that during the fight, he does an ability called Burning Pitch, and during that, he will, throw out this fire, and there's, green pools that will spawn on the ground, and out of those green pools will spawn a little green elemental. And they're called Burning Embers. When you do the fight, normally you're supposed to kill them because they can do a lot of damage and they can explode and everything's really, really bad. What you need to do is actually keep 15 of the little buggers alive. And what you need is for Croesus to actually kill them all. And the way that he can kill them is by smashing the bridge that the little elementals are alive on. So you want to make sure that when the Burning Pitch ability comes out, soak all the ones towards the back, because the last part of the bridge is not available to be broken, because if that breaks, you wipe and you won't have gotten the achievement. Let all of the Burning Pitches that fall in the front panels of the bridge, let them all turn into the Burning Embers. And use interrupts and stuns and things like that to try and avoid as many casts as you possibly can. But you want to do that probably a couple of times. And I don't know how you can keep track of how many you've actually managed to get Croesus to kill. But keep them up until he smashes the bridge. And when he smashes the bridge, those ads will go away.
Are they random, or does it, target people?
It is random every darn time. Every time.
Fair enough.
It was the cause of many, many arguments when we were doing it on Mythic, because it's really, really hard. So that one's just, keep the elementals up. You want to take the last two?
Okay, so the next one is Infinitesimal. Is get betrayed by and then defeat an infinite whelpling during the Grand Magistrix Elisand encounter. And then defeat Grand Magistrix Elisand. Now, someone in the raid needs to get their hands on an infinite whelpling battle pet. They spawn just outside of
Caverns of Time.
The entrance to the Caverns of Time. That's the place. Now, in this fight, there are little blue and pink elemental ads that spawn the bubbles of their matching color when they die. If you can get both a pink elemental and a blue elemental to overlap, and then you run your infinite whelpling through there, it will turn into a bigger version of itself with a ton of health. Kill that, kill Elisand, good to go.
Yeah, this one's really fun. Make sure that only one person does it. Yeah, I've done it.
Have you surprised people with this?
Someone surprised us with it on our Mythic wipe the other night. It wasn't the cause of the wipe. The wipe had already happened, and so they pulled their pet out to do it just for funsies. It wasn't for to wipe.
So have you done this one on not Mythic?
Yeah, we did this one a little while ago, actually, on one of our earlier farm nights, because I'm like, I want this achievement. I have a pet. It's going to be easy, and it was. The dragon has got a little bit of health, but not too much. He's not too bad at all.
It sounds like the train achievement from
it's like,
what's
surprise!
he? Everyone's just like, what was that giant explosion? Nothing. Don't worry. Everyone just got an achievement.
Except this one,
worry.
It's like, where did that dragon come from? What the hell? It's a little bit more obvious than that one, but yeah.
Yeah. Imagine a raid full. Everyone has an infinite whelpling.
Yeah, that wouldn't last very long.
I doubt it, but yeah.
Everyone would die.
Final achievement is I've my eyes on you, which is defeat Gul'dan after defeating 16 Eyes of Gul'dan within 3 seconds. How do you do this one? This sounds ridiculous.
I don't know. So this is based on some comments that I found on Wowhead. So obviously, for people who haven't done the Gul'dan fight and you're looking at doing this, Gul'dan spawns a bunch of eyes throughout the fight. and if the eyes aren't killed fast enough, they'll actually duplicate. So if you start off with 2 eyes and they don't get killed, then that'll turn into 4 eyes, and then the 4 eyes will turn into 8, and so on and so forth. So that's what you want to have happen, is that you want the ads to duplicate a few times, so that you have at least 16, but preferably more, so that you can kill them all within 3 seconds. What you kind of want to do is with the first eyes that come down, that come out, you want to get them to about 20% health. So absolutely no dots, no bleeds, nothing like that, because otherwise you'll kill them and you'll mess up the achievement for yourselves. So get them down as low as you can, because when they duplicate, they'll duplicate with the same amount of health that's left on the ads themselves. And then when you have enough, then you all go ham on them. The trouble with this is that when the eyes are out, they will target random people and do like an AoE damage thing around them. So everyone has to be spread out as best as you can, because you'll do splash damage onto each other and you'll all just die really quickly. So be really spread out. Take an extra healer or 2, because you're going to need them. And yeah, just get through that bit. So, and you probably need to hold off on DPS on Gul'dan himself after a while, because if he gets into the last phase, it would be really difficult to deal with those eyes while he's doing his flames ability on the platform. So try and do this with the first set of eyes that come out at the very start of the fight, and then once you've done that, great, cool, you can just do the rest of the fight.
Yes. So that's everything for that.
And then you have a miss.
Yes, and now we are just going to cover the Trial of Valor. Now, these don't count towards Glory of the Legion Raider, but they're still some pretty fun achievements. Yes. The first is you ruined everything to defeat Odin after gaining runic mastery. Now, this one seems fairly straightforward. Get into phase 2. Wait for draw power. The runes on the floor will shine up one after another. Kill the ads in the order, like Simon says. Now you'll get a debuff called Runic Mastery. Pop Bloodlust, kill Odin without getting a second draw power, and don't die.
I think the hardest part about that is figuring out the correct order that they all come up in.
Yes.
I haven't paid attention, and I'm going to pay attention next time we do this to see if it's like, if it kind of zigzags all over the lot, or if it just starts at one point and then goes one after the other around the circle.
Yeah. It's probably random every time. But if you're keeping an eye on it, you can see how it goes. The next one is Patient Zero, which is to defeat Halia while all raid members but one are afflicted with Fetid Rot. Now, Fetid Rot, and in phase 2, when the Grime Lord is up, the ability can't be dispelled. When Fetid Rot drops off a player, it will spread to anyone near them. So, it seems that the best way to do this is to basically have it bouncing back and forth between 2 people. And then just before Halia is at, say, 2%, have those 2 people charge into the group so that it hits everyone except the one person that just had it, and then kill her. So, seems pretty straightforward in that regards. It
just depends on the timing. Like, the other way to do it is just to have everyone stacked up the whole time, so that Fetid Rot is just bouncing around on everyone the whole time, because that means that you've got multiple opportunities to make sure that everyone gets it. Whereas if you're relying on one tick of it to get on everyone, you could fail. But
the achievement does require all raid members but one.
Yeah, so one person go up on one of the sides and hide.
You have to be very careful. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, it sounds like a slightly more, not difficult, but just a slightly different version of the Lich King achievement.
Yeah, with the ghouls and stuff and their ability to bouncing that back
with
and forth.
30 stacks of whatever it was, defile or something. I don't remember. The final...
Sorry, I was just going to say, with
sorry.
that particular one, the Fetid Rot ability reduces the amount of healing that people get as well, so just be mindful of that.
Yep. The final achievement is The Chosen, which is to defeat Helia on Mythic without failing the test of the Chosen. Now, this is a personal achievement, and you will get a buff as soon as Odin starts his roleplay. Back when you fight Odin. You need to be inside the instance or you'll miss the buff. And it's as simple as killing all the bosses without dying.
So easy. Oh my god.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. And
so
cool.
I'm going to come back in 3 expansions.
Yeah, me too.
And get this one, I think. Probably the best option. Probably a good thing they didn't put this in the meta. That's for sure.
But it gives you the title The Chosen as well, which is really cool.
Yes. Now, there are some updated / new Legion dungeon achievements. Now, we did cover Glory of the Legion Hero on episode 37. But there's a couple of things in here that have been updated and changed in that regards. Cinder, do you want to take these?
Yeah, so we've just included in the ones that for dungeons that weren't actually out when we talked about the Glory of the Legion Hero in episode 37. So Karazhan wasn't out at that time, and neither was Cathedral of Eternal Night, and both of those dungeons have achievements. But I can't find where they... Did you take out the Cathedral ones?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not. They're not in. We'll talk about them when the Cathedral's available.
It is available.
On the PTR?
No, it's live. Z's done all the achievements and everything. Yeah.
Oh, it's live already. Wow.
Yeah, you haven't done it. It's a really great dungeon. It's really good fun. It's got a fair bit of trash, but it's really good fun. So in Karazhan, these achievements, they've been updated because Karazhan got changed from being mythic only to being available on heroic difficulty in an upper and lower lockout, if that makes sense. So these achievements, they've been updated to say mythic only because that's where all the other ones are. So the first one is Burn After Reading, which is collect all 4 sealed tomes from Return to Karazhan on mythic difficulty. The 4 tomes are Legacy of the Mountain King, Torment of the Worgen, Redemption of the Fallen, and Wrath of the Titans. So all of the books that you need for this achievement can be found in the room after the boss Mana Devourer. Once you return to your normal size, just click on all the sealed tombs around the room until you get them all. They do despawn when you click on them, apparently, but they will respawn again not long after. So you can just keep clicking until you get the 4 you need. And that one's it. Like, you just got to click some books, which is really cool. Dine and Bash is with the Morose fight. This one, you need to complete the Morose encounter in Return to Karazhan on Mythic difficulty after defeating all 4 dinner guests within 10 seconds of each other. So for this particular fight, you've got Morose, and then he's got 4 ads that are with him. There's a couple of ways that you can do it. I mean, you might just get it accidentally where you just cleave them all down evenly. Some groups, they split them in half, so you've got 2 that they'll hit for a little while and get them down a bit lower, and then they'll root them in place and then go for the other 2 and get them down and try and kill them within 10 seconds of each other. Whatever works best for your group. And then obviously kill Morose himself. One Night in Karazhan is the big one. Now, this is the one that you will want to do. It's an achievement that you'll get while you're trying to get your Smouldering Ember Worm, and that's doing the Nightbane encounter. So we will put up the guide for, like the detailed guide for how to get this, because there's no point us sitting here going, and you go to this spot in this room and click on this crystal and then run over here and do that. There's guides that are really great for that.
It's very tricky.
The short version of this is that there's a timer that will start as soon as you open the door after you zone into Karazhan. And I wanted to say that specifically because if you get into a group and somebody zones in and opens that door, your countdown timer has started already, regardless of whether or not you're all there. So just make sure that you all zone at the same time and that you do a countdown to open the door and then you run. And there's a set kill order that you need to kill the bosses in. There's crystals that are soul fragment crystal thingies that you need to click on that will extend the timer for yourself. And then once you've clicked all the crystals, you'll get a buff called Medivh's Presence, where you get to go speak to Medivh to ding this achievement. And in doing so, you'll get the ability to do the Nightbane fight, which has the mount in it.
Yes.
So that's that one.
The next achievement is Scared Straight, which is to defeat the Shade of Medivh while members have Paranoid on Mythic. Now, reading by clicking the book called Terrifying Stories to Tell at Night, which is on the floor to the left of the entrance to the Guardian's library, will give you the buff Paranoid. This means when you move, you'll be unable to stop moving for 5 seconds, but you can control the direction. Now, everyone needs this. So, sounds pretty fun, this one.
I haven't done this one. Somebody had a really great tip, though, that if you're trying to do this achievement, turn your RP walking on, so that, yes, you'll be running and you won't be able to control the fact that you're moving forward. But if you put the RP walking on, you'll move slower, and obviously you can control which direction you're running in as well. So that could be helpful for some people.
That's a smart one.
Yeah, I liked that one. I'm like, that's really clever, actually. Just better turn it off again afterwards.
Yep. Now, the next one is Season Tickets, which is to complete each of the following Opera Hall plays: Wicket, Beautiful Beast, and Westfall Story. Now, the opera event rotates, giving you a different fight each week, so you need to do this for 3 different times. Now, have you spoken to the big bad wolf behind the scenes in the dungeon?
No, I actually ended up in a heroic group doing this the other day, and it's funny that you say that, because I saw him hanging out there, and I saw that he had a little talky thing on him, but the group I was in, they were just like, run, run, run. I'm like, okay.
You can talk to him, and he'll be like, oh, how are you, blah, blah, and you'll be like, hey, say the thing. And he's like, do I really have to? And you're like, yes, say the thing. And he does the run away, little girl voice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really funny. He's like, now leave me alone, please.
Aww.
Kind of thing. Now, the new updated ones are Heroic, Return to Karazhan, which is to defeat the Watcher in Return to Karazhan on Heroic or higher, and Mythic, Return to Karazhan. Same thing. So they're just the versions of the dungeon that you complete. Obviously, doing it on Mythic will get you both. I don't believe it's retroactive. So, yeah. Now, Cathedral of Eternal Night, which I got confused with the dungeon that's on top of the next raid.
It is that one.
It is?
It is that one, yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So when you go, it came out when 7.2 came out.
This is the one where you follow Illidan and Maiev through the dungeon, right? Yes, I have done this one. I have done this one.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Never
when you
mind.
get in there, you can actually see bits of Tomb of Sargeras itself, actually. Just if you look over the edges and you look down, and there's one point where you look down and there's like this ocean of demons, and you're like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, because the tomb goes down, and this dungeon goes up, because you have to use the Aegis of Agrimar at the top.
Correct.
Yes.
So there's only 3 achievements in this dungeon, and that doesn't count towards any meta or anything yet. They may do something later, but they're just fun things to do if you're looking for some more achievements. So the first one is Boom Bloom, which is to defeat Agrinox after fulminating 4 budding flowers. So for this fight, there are 4 budding blooms in the flower patches around the room. The person who is fixated by floral fulmination needs to be standing on the bud when the lasher hits and detonates on them, and you just need to do that 4 times. The explosion obviously can hurt, because explosions aren't exactly a tickle, so just make sure that your healers are keeping you topped up before the explosion happens. But that one's really straightforward.
Yep. The next one is Steamy Romance Saga, which I'm sure everyone wants Illidan and Maiev to hurry up and get over with.
Oh my god.
Which defeat Thrashbite, the Scornful, after all party members have read the entire steamy romance saga. Now, when the boss casts Scornful Gaze, it breaks a bookshelf. It's between you and the boss. Break all 4 bookshelves in order to uncover the 4 books. Do them clockwise, starting to the left, the entrance. Everybody in the group has to click all 4. You can watch people's debuff to track how many books they've read. Once you've read all 4, burn the boss.
Yep, so just hide behind the bookcases, basically.
Pretty much. Do you want to take the last one?
The last one is Master of Shadows, which is defeat Mephistoph. Defeat one of the last bosses. After blocking 20 Shadow Blasts with the Aegis of Agrimar on Mythic difficulty. So for this particular fight, you go into the center of the room and the Aegis of Agrimar is in there, and the tank can pick it up same as they could in Halls of Valor. And what will happen is that these shadow orbs, these shadow blasts are going to come at you like all around, and the tank needs to turn around and block them with his shield. Like, he gets to go full Captain America on this shit. So he just needs to block 20 of them. You may need to slow down the DPS to get enough of the blasts to come out, because you need 20, and if you're super high DPS you might not get 20. So just wait and let your tank block them all, and then kill the boss. And that's it. That's all of the achievements we have so far.
Yeah. Looks pretty good. Pretty interesting. Some of the achievements sound pretty fun. But,
I'll find a link to Z's blog, because she did the Cathedral of Eternal Night achievements like the second week it was out or something. She got them really early on, and talks about them a little bit. So if you want to have a read through that, that might give people some tips as well.
Yeah. And now we have a whole bunch of tweets, a couple emails too. So, first up, we have a tweet from Anne the Gamer, who says, I got the Ironforge ram from the Argent tournament, mount count 170. That's excellent. I still need to go back there. I spotted Thist thing the achievement, we're going to need more saddles. So that's excellent.
Yes, congratulations.
Lita.
Also, one that's in there that, oh crap. Sorry, I'm making random notes in our show notes. Z got her, the Blazing Firehawk from Firelands last night, which dinged her 250 mounts for her Fell Firehawk thingy.
Oh, that's excellent.
Achievement. Yeah, which was awesome. So huge congratulations to you, Z, for your 2, like, they're awesome mounts to get to ding you 250. That's really cool.
Yes. Now, Lita did manage to get myself an Alliance chopper. It doesn't count towards the mount count. Also got the last piece of the Mog Warlog set. So
nice.
I guess she was been hunting a whole bunch of transmog recently. Want to take the next 2?
Sure. The next one is from Clifford Garrett at Plumpworm. Who was saying, took my wife on an adventure for Mother's Day, and we both got the Riddler's Mindworm. That sounds like a really good day. And Professor Moriarty says, mount count 307, pet count 836, toy count is 363, 24,985 achievement points, and yes, Xmog sickness persists, 32 out of 45 sets. You guys are awesome. Moriarty, you're a little bit awesome, dude. That's like, those numbers are huge, I gotta you're amazing.
He's the awesome one.
He is.
Definitely.
I'm so impressed that you've already managed to get 32 out of the 45 transmog sets. That is just amazing. Congratulations.
Definitely. Now, we have 2 emails. The first one from Alessandra, who says, I've found that with flying, any time is a good time for ults. Invasions give half a level for 20 minutes of demon punching, and once you reach 110, you can give them 20 research and let them research for a while. I have 4 at 110 and 7 moving up. It's pretty much all I'm doing these days, and phone missions for following year. I've always thought that the only one that will kill WoW is WoW, and pretty much at the point in Legion. And I'm pretty much at that point in Legion. There isn't much to do. there that I feel like outside of class and artifact stories. Yeah, that does
That's
happen.
disappointing. It does happen. It does. Like, it's...
There will be new patches and new stuff to do. So...
Yeah, I think the next one especially is going to be maybe not 725, but for 73 will be a big one as well.
Yep.
So our next, we actually have next 2 emails from Cheryl. So the first one says, "Hey Reins," and this is obviously in response to our last episode with Fleecy about the alts as well. Cheryl says, "Hey Reins, I might be a couple episodes late, but I feel like I wanted to weigh in on the alt unfriendliness of Legion. Be aware I have a bit of a ranting to get off my chest along with some potential ideas. To start with, everyone needs to stop comparing Legion to Warlords in this regard. Just because a lot of people were leveling and gearing alts during the first raid in Warlords doesn't make Legion's alt unfriendly. What it says is that there wasn't enough endgame content besides raiding in Warlords. Every other expansion has not had us on our alts until well until the 2nd or 3rd raid, and I think Legion is doing the same. As we've completed getting exalted reputations, gotten our artifacts to whatever we think is appropriate, and outgrown World Quest gear drops, we have less need to push hard on World Quests. Now, I was among those who were concerned at the beginning of Legion. I felt behind because I wasn't keeping up on Suramar and was collecting AP slower than my raid peers, but I was contributing raid, so it was all in my head. But this is the advice that I give people, which is to listen to the Pandaren and slow down. I don't mean to say that in terms of how much you play, but stop trying to keep up with the top 1% unless you're part of it or striving to be in that 1%. This is what I do as a normal/heroic raider on non-raid days. All I do is raid on raid nights. Number 1, I don't play every day. I have other things to do, but I play 3 to 5 days of the week, so that's pretty often. Number 2, main. Do world quests to complete the caches and on the Broken Shore, as much as I feel up to. Sometimes I don't go to the Broken Shore, sometimes I only do 1 cache rather than 3. Rather than all 3. Keep up on current story. Number 3, my hunter is my only alt at 110. I'm working on her class campaign, so I may do a set of world quests, Kirantor or Wardens when they're up as often as I can, but otherwise I work on her campaign. Number 4, if I don't feel like working on either of those, I take out my warrior who is at 107. 5. If I'm still not feeling it, I look at my other alts and pick who I want to play, or perhaps look at what I want to do with their professions. I want to get my shaman and priest ticking along because they're getting alchemy and tailoring leveling. Number 6. If I just don't want to hang out in the Broken Isles, I'll go do transmog or mount runs. The most important thing, though, is that I don't consider logging onto an alt or doing transmog or mount runs is a waste of my time. These are things I enjoy, and since I enjoy them, I am enjoying playing, and that's what gaming is about for me. And that is from Cheryl. And Cheryl, I could not agree with you more, honey. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. 1,000,000 times yes.
Yes.
The whole point of, I'll say it till the cows come home, the whole point of a game is that you are supposed to be having fun. So you
Definitely.
do what's fun for you. Have the fun.
But
Sorry.
obviously, I still can't help feeling bad when I'm playing one of my alts and I'm like, I know there's something I could be doing on my main to get closer to X. But obviously now that I've got one of every talent and I'm just like, it's an AP grind, I can leave him. But in saying that, I also want to do world quests to get those bloody mounts. I want to do archaeology because I'm extremely close to that achievement. And it's just like, there's so much stuff I want to do on my main that could do stuff.
Yeah.
But I really want to see all this other stuff over here. It's like, I don't know what to do. Fine, I'll go play something else.
What a terrible problem for you to have, Spaz, that there's so much
Exactly.
that you have to do.
It is a terrible problem
That's just
that
awful.
Blizzard is forcing me to pay them money to fix.
How dare there be so much content? Oh my goodness. No,
Exactly.
I know what you mean, because I do the same thing. One of my main goals at the moment is to get to that concordance talent in the artifact thing. I'm nearly there. It's like the 50-second trait. I'm nearly there. And every time that I'm not working towards that, I feel guilty because I'm like, I need to get to that, and then I can relax and do other things. But it's too much. And exactly as Cheryl says, is like sometimes you just need to not do that. You need to do what you want to have fun doing. And so I've been playing around a little bit on my mage lately, and also on my paladin, getting her class hall campaign done. And I'm still playing away on priest, which is at level 40. I'm just playing around on her just for funsies, because sometimes I just need a break, and that's okay.
I was actually thinking the other day, I'm like, I wish I could, like, play one of my tunes to 110, get them to a certain level of gear, that I can then just beeline through the class hall campaign. But obviously there's some missions, like gaps, and there's collect this thing and do that thing that make it sort of you have to do it over time. I wish there was a way to just streamline the class hall campaign so that I can line it up and be like, okay, this evening I'm going to go through the entire mage class hall campaign because I want to see it start to end, no interruptions. I don't want to forget, what was the last? Who was the last person I spoke to? Who am I saving now? Where am I going? That kind of thing. Which to some people might just be like, oh, you just want to, speed run everything. It's like, well, no, I don't want to forget, I get halfway through a book, I put it down, I pick it back up, I might as well start it again.
What's happened? Yeah,
exactly.
It's one of those things that they've deliberately slowed down by putting in the missions so that your followers have to go off and run them. So it definitely does slow them down, especially if you've not been great about keeping your followers up. But yeah. Cheryl also sent us another quick email saying, during our ladies' night of gaming, Mumminatrix, Reloki, and I set out to get our mindworms. Here's a shot from the tallest tower of New Dalaran for the website. There may have been a multi-person mount to get us all there. Congratulations, ladies. I put that picture up on our mount gallery when you sent the email through, and you guys look awesome. Huge congratulations. That's really cool.
Definitely.
And that's it.
Yes, that is everything for this week.
Do you know what we're doing next week yet?
Me either off the top of my head, but I do want to bring up a very important point that was given to us, brought up to us by our lovely Anne on our Discord server. If words can work.
Okay.
She would like us to do a bit of a new player / collector guide. Sort of, where to start. Now, this does also kind of lead into the cryptic things I was talking about on Twitter during the week in regards to possibly looking for someone out there who has less than 50 mounts, the fewer the better, at least one level 110 Alliance tune, and is free Monday nights, Sydney time, 7 p.m. till about 9. Because I would love to start doing some streams where I take someone who has almost no mounts and get them as many as I can.
Oh, that'd be cool fun.
I would also like to invite other people to come along. We can group up. If you're a horde, you're more than welcome to follow along. Just obviously we can't group up. That's all. But you can follow, obviously, different realms and different shards, and we won't see each other. But if you're following us through different instances and through different locations, it'll be great fun. But mainly, so I'm trying to think of the best way to put this all together. But in saying that, maybe not next week, but the week after, we might put together sort of a new players / new collectors guide to WoW. Once I've thought this through a little more and refined my idea and looked at various ways that we can do that, because there are a lot of add-ons, there are a lot of websites out there. Simple Armory is definitely one. There's a ton of mount and pet collecting, achievement collecting add-ons to look into. So we'll definitely take a big look at all this and maybe compile it into 1, maybe 2 episodes. So we'll see.
Indeed.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we'll figure something out for next week, obviously, but please keep sending us through your pictures and stories and emails and stuff, because we really do love hearing from you all. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can come along to our live recordings each week on Tuesdays on Twitch at twitch.tv/Reins of Azeroth. We start at around 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, so Sydney or Melbourne time. And you can join us in the chat room there and say hi to us from there, and hi to everybody in there. The show can be found on our website, reignsofazeroth.com, as well as on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. Video of the live show goes up on YouTube after the stream is done. Just have a quick search on YouTube for Reins of Azeroth with no spaces, and you'll be able to find us on there. If you like what we're doing here, please, we'd love to see a review from you on iTunes or a thumbs up on Stitcher if you are so inclined. If you have any questions or stories or pictures of mounts or toys or achievements or your transmogs, love the transmogs.
Yes.
Or, especially show ideas, because, we really would love to hear some show ideas. Get in touch with us, reignsofazeroth@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter. The show is at Reins of Azeroth. Spaz can be found at SpazWesson. I can be found at Cinder_tweets. And if you'd like to join our Discord server and have a chat to us on there, we would love to hear from you. Just send us a message and we will send you the link.
Yes, and we have a separate sort of chat room tab that is show suggestions. So
yes,
you can leave a bunch there. Now, when it comes down to it with this show, I would like to do some more sort of talking episodes, like when we spoke to Z about blogs, and we don't just follow the Wowhead guide, basically. And, we discuss things more like other podcasts, really. So I'd like to do more of that, but we want to know what you guys want to hear. We can start branching out into other things. I doubt we'll be branching out into other games, really. I mean, we could probably just spend a whole episode talking about the Heroes of the Storm mounts, because, my god, there are a lot of them, and they are full. And I can get Tyrael's Charger in Heroes, even though I don't have it in WoW, and I hate that I don't have it in WoW. But I'm rambling, so if you have any ideas, just let us know. Even if it's a spur of the moment thing, just let us know anyway. We'll take those ideas and we'll do something with them.
We'll stick them in a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to everybody who came along in the Twitch chat room. It's always lovely to have you. We'll see you next week. See you later.
Bye. And Sirius is free.
Free from the teapot. Just remembered that I hadn't done my mount farm, and I don't know if the servers are still up.
Don't think so.
I'm trying anyway.
Well, I'm about halfway done with my little mage table.
Woohoo!
But that's only the prototype before I mold it, because it needs to be transparent.
Yes.
And sparkly. Many sparkles.
Handle it.
Mm-hmm. And I also finished painting my my D&D miniature. What's that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything we want to say to the chat room before we go?
Thanks for stopping by.
I love you.
And Sirius loves you.
You.
I'm quite fond of yous all too.
Alright, see everybody next week.
Bye.
Love you.